Okay, welcome back to my first episode of the WII podcast, I guess? I don't know what to call it yet, so we're just gonna call it that for now.
I'm here too.
Yeah, that's Joey Baseball Plays. He is here, and today we're talking about why the Wii is very underrated.
So as you know, the Wii is a great console with motion controls that aren't that good, but the Mario Kart is super fun. There's so many fun maps like the mall and the beach and Wario Gold Mine and Funky Kong, my favorite character. But the only downside is the steering wheel is not that well designed. So I feel like that's why most people didn't really like the Wii. On the other hand, the Wii U is an amazing console. I don't get why it didn't sell well, because the Wii U is basically the Switch of the past.
I'm gonna stop you right there. The Wii U didn't sell well because it didn't have any of its own games. It just made remakes and games from the Wii for the Wii U.
But the Wii U is also an amazing console, because when I was small, little baby, I went to my friend's house and he had a Wii U. We played Super Smash Brothers. He used the gamepad and I had the TV all to myself.
You do realize that Smash Bros. On the Wii U is like the worst Smash game?
Well, it's not. The worst Smash game is Ultimate. It stinks.
You have some very controversial opinions here.
I know, but the Wii U is an amazing console. The 2DS, also very underrated.
Yes, it is. Nobody talks about it. They talk about the DS.
Or the 3DS.
Or the 3DS. Nobody talks about the 2DS.
The 2DS is basically a 3DS, but cheaper. It just can't play Minecraft.
Yeah. Like,
if you want to play Minecraft, get a PC.
Yeah. It's a lot more expensive to get a PC, but it's also just better in every single way.
I get if you want a 3DS, you can play like Animal Crossing New Horizons and stuff.
You can't play New Horizons on the 3DS.
Shh.
You can play an Animal Crossing game, but I think it's City Folk.
I don't know. But I'm not a Nintendo person.
Really?
I mean, I do own an N64 and Switch, but that's it.
Oh.
Switch is also a pretty bad console. It's basically just a remake of the Wii U.
But it sold better because it had original games and newer games coming in.
Well, it sold better also because Nintendo hadn't made a console in forever.
Yeah. So, just like how the Switch 2, there's a dev kit out there, and it's gonna go wild because they haven't made a console in like 7 years.
Yeah, it's been, last time Nintendo released a console was Switch in 2017.
Yeah.
And Switch, great console and all, just fix the Joy-Cons, please.
And we need music. There's no music.
Yes, we need home screen music, eShop music, and all that, kind of like the Wii. And that's the point of the episode today. The Wii is an amazing
underrated.
console. It is way too underrated.
They have Wii Shop music. They have the Wii Shop. They have the most popular eShop music. They have eShop music. Like, they have home screen music, even though it's not great home screen music. It's music, and it's not boring.
And, like, especially the startup sounds for games like Wii Sports. And, like, it's crazy how advanced the Wii was at the time. Like, no other console had motion controls. It's crazy.
Yeah, it was really, really good.
Like, people think it sucked. But listen to this music for one of the games. It's crazy. Like,
imagine you had that in the Switch.
Yes, that would be crazy. Switch Sports, it stinks. Switch Sports stinks.
You know how you can play as a Mii, but they also just have like pre-made terrible, ugly characters?
Yeah. Like, okay, another thing. Switch sucks because there is no Mario baseball game. Like, the GameCube has Mario Superstar Baseball. The Wii has Super Sluggers.
Yeah.
They are both incredibly fun games. Like, cool. But Another thing is, Nintendo needs to start doing the complete game again instead of having to update them a million times.
With DLC, paid DLC, that's terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah,
it's
paid DLC stinks.
Because they have an unfinished game, and then they're like, we'll finish it, but you have to pay another $20.
I know. And they need, like, on the Wii, where you can get Homebrew Channel and play older games and stuff, but, like, there are other consoles that can play the backwards compatible games. Like, the Switch needs to have a launcher that you don't have to pay for to play, like, Game Boy games and N64
No
games.
Switch Online for Game Boy. Just let us be able to buy the Game Boy game for, like, $50 instead of having to pay $50 a month to play Game Boy games.
Like, I would much rather have to pay $10 one time than have to pay like $10 a month just to play Game Boy games. Like, I could buy a Game Boy and get the game I want for less.
Cheaper. It's so much cheaper just to get the Game Boy in the game.
And the Switch needs to be way more durable. Like, you look at the Game Boy, you can throw it out a second-story window, and it'll still work. Like, during the Gulf War, a guy left his Game Boy in his tent. His tent got bombed, and it still works.
Really?
Yes! It is still playing Tetris to this day. Nintendo needs a way better battery life for the Switch also.
Yeah.
Like, Game Boy, 4 AA batteries last you 2 years. It was insane.
The Switch, you leave it docked for like a day, it lasts you half a day.
I know. Like, they're getting better about the battery life, but especially with, like, Tears of Kingdom, where they're trying to make the graphics really good.
But then it also just destroys your Switch.
Drains the battery. The Switch.
Speaking of battery, in Tears of the Kingdom, I bet you don't have max battery. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So, awkward silence, I guess. So, back to the topic of the Wii. Wii, amazing. Like, the Mii Plaza, like, it is so fun. And even if you don't have games for it, you can have, like, competitions with your friends. Like, make a character with a Mii and see who gets the best.
Yeah, like, it's not even a game, but just make a character, like, get, like, Donkey Kong. I'm just going to use Donkey Kong as an example. You show them one picture for 1 second, and then you have them make Donkey Kong in the Mii Maker. Or you don't even show them a picture, and they have to do it from memory.
Well, I don't normally play my Switch that much anymore, but all I know is the only way you can make Miis or new Miis is, like, in a game. Like,
either in the game, or if you go into settings and find, like, the hidden Mii Maker, it's really hard to find.
Like, the only way I know how to make a new Mii is Super Smash Bros. Or Mario Kart. Like,
you can make them inside Smash?
Yeah.
Oh. I thought you just had to go into the settings, create your Mii, and then do Smash, and then put the costumes on.
I think you can make new Miis in Super Smash Bros. Another thing is,
there's the Mii Kingdom one. What is it called?
I don't know.
It's like that one that has, like, super cool Miis that you can make. You can make, like, a Squidward in there. It's really good. And it's really fun. They should make more games that just have Mii as, like, the integrated thing.
So,
because that's why the Wii was so good. You could have so much customization for your game, and it would feel like you were in the game with the Miis, because, like, Nintendo has the most, like, the best kind of avatar maker I've ever seen. Xbox,
it's okay.
It's okay, but, like,
PlayStation, you don't even have avatars. So.
Yeah, and then the Miis and just Nintendo, it's so useful, and they have secret features where you can use them for good things, like in the profile pictures you can put your Miis, and Smash and Mario Kart, and then that one Wii game, the Mii game I was talking about.
Yeah. Another thing is why the Wii is so underrated. It had PictoChat and stuff. Like, you could chat with your friends online if you had Wii connected to the internet.
Sadly, you can't do that.
Yeah, because they took down the Wii servers.
Why did they do that? Like, everybody was still using them.
In other dumb Nintendo news, they're about to take down the Wii U and 3DS servers.
They already did that.
No, they're about to. They took them down. Well, I think they're going to take them down soon.
I'm pretty sure they already did that.
I know the 3DS XL still has some servers.
Yeah, but
why get rid of them? I get, like, it can cost quite a bit.
But people still play them and use them. And maybe if Nintendo, instead of just stopping producing their old consoles and making you pay like $1 billion just to get a Game Boy, they should just make it to where they have plenty of teams, like, for each console that are, like, they have different manufacturers for each console so that they don't just focus on one console, and they can keep making old ones and old games so that they profit from people buying their consoles.
Yes. Another thing the Switch really needs, I know we got off topic from the Wii being an underrated console, but another thing it needs, a better startup sound. Like the Game Boy Advance. Amazing!
There's no startup sound. That's the problem. They need a startup sound. Like,
yes.
The GBA, the startup sound, like, if you hear it, you just think...
That's a Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, you think nostalgia. You think, I loved that game.
Like, listen to this. Never mind.
That's not the Game Boy Advance startup.
I'm trying to find it.
It's not going to be on Spotify.
Oh. Well, I can't find it right now, so
we'll play it at the end of the episode.
Yes. So I feel like that really covers how the Switch is kind of a terrible console.
And then you have the Wii, which is just
amazing.
Amazing. You can't beat it.
Another thing Nintendo needs to do is have a home console and not have a portable one.
Yeah, like
portable.
Their portable is good. It's cool. But what you need...
not powerful at all.
You need a powerful console as well as a portable. Like, the Xbox, they made digital and non-digital.
Yes, like the Series S can be portable if you get a screen for it and you can just play in your lap.
But the Series S is also bad because it's digital only.
Yeah, but I feel like there's another thing with the Series S. They were trying to make it more of a console you should watch TV on and not one that you actually do.
But with the Switch, they should just make a portable Switch and like a Switch Home. And the Switch Home is just, like, a more powerful Switch that can play the Switch games.
Even the Wii U came with a home console. Like, the touchpad was a completely different thing. It just connected to the console.
The problem with the Wii U was that the touchpad, the Wii Pad, or whatever it's called, is connected to the home console, and you can't play it far away.
Yeah, that's the only thing. You have to have the home console with the Wii U. But if Nintendo can have just a Switch Lite connected to a giant, beefy thing.
Like Project Q PlayStation, where it's just a PlayStation controller split in half with, like, a Switch pad in it.
With a screen in the middle.
And it just, it streams from your PlayStation to your Switch, which is just the Wii U. But they should make it to where you can do that really far away.
Yeah, like have kind of a Switch Lite connect to a home console, and then they're two completely different consoles. So if you're far away, you use the console that's built in to the Switch Lite, but if you're close to the home thing, you'll use the home thing.
Yeah, so it's two different consoles. You can connect your Switch Lite to your big home console, the Switch Home, or whatever they could call it. You connect it to that, and then you'll just have, basically, a portable one that you can... It's the Wii U, so it has, like, the power of the Wii U, or the power of the Switch Home. And then, like, that's if you're close, but if you're far, you can play it with less power. And
yeah, and just have lower graphics.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Nintendo's trying way too hard to have good graphics because PlayStation, Xbox have 4K graphics.
But they won't...
they won't ever do that with a handheld.
Yeah.
That is, like, physically impossible.
And they're kind of refusing to make a...
home console.
Yeah, because they they have their dev kit for the Switch 2, and we don't know if it's portable, but we know that it's around the power of the PlayStation 2
Yes, like it's
and like the Xbox 360, which is not good. Not good.
especially if it has the noise level of those two.
And they're trying to give it good graphics, but they're making something with the power of the PS2.
Like, they're trying to have 4K graphics on a handheld, but they're also trying way too hard to have good FPS. You can't have both.
Yeah.
Like, especially not on a portable. Like, the PSP, they sacrificed graphics for the better frame
But
rate.
they still, for PlayStation, it's still going well because they have plenty and plenty
of home consoles.
Yeah.
Like, they still launch home consoles. Like, Nintendo has kind of turned into only handhelds.
Within, like, 6 or 7 years, they've only made handheld, along with, like, the Wii U, which had one
little box.
Yeah. But then the main selling point for the Wii U, that was the difference between the Wii and the Wii U, was just the gamepad. And then they just made the Switch, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. But then 6 years later, they're like, yeah, we're making another Switch.
Switch, basically.
Another Switch that's just gonna be failed.
Like, they clearly did not learn their lesson with the Wii U. They're like, hey, we made a Wii! Look at it, it's amazing! Now we're launching a second Wii! Guys, where'd you go?
Yeah, just, why aren't you buying it?
We already have Wiis, that's why. Like, why would we want another Wii? Like, another thing with Nintendo converting to handhelds, they had, like, the N64, the NES, the SNES. That's because handhelds were not powerful back then for 3D graphics. So it's really quite dumb how they've converted only to handhelds. Like, they learned their lesson with the Game Boy Advance SP, Game Boy Color, all the Game Boys, that handhelds do sell well. But when you, like, hype it up good, like, the Game Boy Advance, it was insanely overpowered for, like, the time frame. Like, they launched it shortly after the GameCube, and the Game Boy Advance had SNES graphics on a foldable thing that was tiny, and it was backlit.
Yeah, but say the backlit is super expensive, yeah? But it's also worth what it is back then. Like, it was probably worth, like, they probably sold it for $50 old without, like, inflation.
Yeah.
So, like $50 old is a lot of money.
Game Boy
But it's worth it.
The Game Boy launched at $80. And now, because of inflation, a Game Boy costs $130. Like,
it's not just because of inflation, but because it's an old console. And,
they're rare now because they stopped making them.
Yeah, they don't make them anymore.
So, like, I say Switch kind of go towards, like, Xbox and stuff and go towards serious gamers. Because they said Call of Duty would be on the Switch, too.
That's not gonna happen.
Like, they said it will be because it's gonna be powerful, with quotes. But it's not going to. Like, I get technology's advanced within 6 years, but you're not going to be able to run that well of games on a handheld. Like, you can get Call of Duty Mobile on your phone for free. Why would you play Call of Duty on a handheld for like $80? Like, just get it on the App Store for free.
Or just get a freaking better console than the Switch that actually plays it well. Like, called the PlayStation.
Like, a PS4. Better graphics than the Switch.
It was made before the Switch, wasn't it?
Yes, PS4 came out in 2013. It has better graphics than the Switch.
The Switch came out in 2017, and everybody thought it was going to be super good and powerful. It was terrible. It had zero graphic power.
So we're going to take this moment to advertise our channels a bit. Make sure to like and subscribe to Rivali Rules and Joey Baseball Plays.
Because he's cool.
And you're cool.
I guess. Yeah, sure.
So he will probably be posting a bunch of random cat pictures on his channel.
No, those are just going to be at the end of all my podcasts.
Just a picture of your cat?
Just, yep, a picture of my cat. weird ones that we took of my cat under the couch.
So we were in his game room playing on his Wii, because Wii's a great console.
Yep.
So here's a really good question: Wii Sports or Wii Sports Resort? Wii Sports Resort all the way, because the most popular game on Wii Sports is bowling. Wii Sports Resort has bowling, and then a bunch of other games.
But then they got rid of baseball.
Yes.
What you need is just Wii Sports Resort, but you replace Frisbee with baseball. Nobody plays the Frisbee.
Yeah, like, I tried the Frisbee today. It's fun, but the dog one, the Frisbee golf, is boring.
Frisbee golf is terrible.
But I say Wii Sports Resort because the golf course, way cooler than the first one. The bowling alley is awesome.
100-pin bowling.
Yes.
Wow.
So, back to the part where the Wii is an extremely underrated console. They have them. I have this website, you might have heard of them, DK Oldies. They sell Wiis for $80 with one controller, and you can get another controller in Wii Sports and a nunchuck for like the same price as a Switch.
$8. Like, no, $300? That's the same price as a Switch.
No, here, let me look at it. The Switch, insanely overpriced.
Yeah, $300 for the worst console ever.
Like, the Wii, you can get one for $75 with the controller. And then just get a controller for $10. And then get a nunchuck for, like, $5. And then get Wii Sports for $30. That is still less than a Switch. And it is an older console, too. And it's a better console for cheaper.
When you're trying to get the Switch, you're just going to be crinkling your money and thinking,
why did I waste my money?
Yeah, why did I waste you're going to be crinkling the $2 you have left in
games. Insanely overpriced.
Yeah, you already have to buy the Switch for $30,000.
Basically. And then, when you're done with that, they don't even have, like, a subscription for free games. Nintendo Online doesn't include free games other than the retro ones. Like, Xbox has Game Pass, and PlayStation has the PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
To where you can get tons of free games.
You can play the games that they have already for free if you just pay $50 a month.
No, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which comes with Xbox Live, which means you can play online, and Game Pass with over 100 games, $17 a month. Switch Online, $50 a month for not even free games.
Yeah, you just get
retro games and the Mario Kart DLC.
And it's been a while. Yeah, you don't make your retro consoles anymore, but nobody wants to play retro games on the Switch if you're not even like.
If you don't even have the good controllers.
It's not even HD. It's just really hard. They haven't even updated it to where you can easily play it with the Switch controllers, with the Joy-Cons.
Like, if they have a GameCube, like, Nintendo has completely ignored the fact that the GameCube is insane. Like,
they have the GameCube controllers.
But they don't have GameCube Online.
Yeah, and they have N64 controllers for N64 Online, but it's also just why? Just make your N64.
Like, if people want to play N64, just let them buy an N64 and keep making them.
Or if people want to play Ocarina of Time, just make an Ocarina of Time remake for the Switch.
Yeah, and make it HD with better graphics.
Yeah.
The graphics aren't much better.
They're not much better. It's hard to make N64 HD. It's hard, but I understand that. But at least make it to where instead of saying, press C buttons.
Like, there is.
And then you're like, there's not a C button on my controller. How do I do that? And then you spend 15 minutes looking for the button that's C.
And then when you realize there's no C button, because there's how many buttons on the N64? There's 15 buttons on the N64.
And you realize, wait, there's not a C button.
And
it's C buttons.
And because there's 4 C buttons.
Yeah.
And on the Switch, with both controllers connected together, still only 10 buttons.
Yeah, only 10 buttons? And how are you going to play the N64 if you only have 10 buttons? How? How do you do it?
That's how Nintendo makes money. It's stupid. They make you buy the N64 controller accessory.
Yeah. 50... No, they, like, stopped making them, so they're also, like, impossible to get now. You can get them for, like, $200. They're $200 now.
Nintendo's like, why aren't they getting Nintendo Online? You can play retro games. Bro, it's only the adults getting the retro games because they want nostalgia. Like, kids aren't going to want to play, like... we like retro games a lot. Because we think they're cool.
And we've played them before, and they give us nostalgia because we played them when we were kids.
Yeah. Totally. Well, my first memories gaming was with my mom's Game Boy.
Yeah, my first memories gaming, my PS3 and my Wii.
Like, the first time I played on an actual console was a Wii. Also, because my grandparents had a Wii.
Yeah, the Wii is just like everybody had it, and then when you get older, nobody has it except for like the people like the 10
grandparents.
Yeah, you're like
for their kids.
Your grandparents or like your older brother that's 21 now.
Another stupid thing about the Nintendo Switch, the original Xbox has the same graphics.
Yeah. The original Xbox, not like the 360 or anything, just the original Xbox has the graphics of the Nintendo Switch.
And I know that because my friend has an original Xbox. Yeah, the controllers are big and bulky, better than tiny. They are smaller than my hands.
How do you play it? You have to have baby hand. You have to be newborn.
I get, like, you're trying to advertise to young people because you don't have giant controllers like Xbox and PlayStation, but not that small.
Like, not that small. They don't fit children hands.
Like,
they fit newborn hands.
Like, I get you're trying to go compact and everything, like...
And most of the Switch's audience is, like, 25-year-olds.
Yes.
The kids don't play it as much.
Because there's better consoles out there.
And also, they don't play it as much because it's more expensive than the better consoles out there.
Like, the Xbox One, you can get used for $150. Better graphics, better exclusives, other than Legend of Zelda.
Legend of Zelda and, like, Mario... Switch has lots of exclusive. Xbox has Halo and nothing else. But it has better graphics. If Nintendo would let the Xbox have their originals onto their consoles, then the Xbox would become like the most wanted console ever.
Another thing, one of the most popular games ever on the N64, James Bond GoldenEye, insanely fun. It's on the Xbox now. No one's gonna buy the Switch just to play GoldenEye. If you want to play GoldenEye, either get an N64 or an Xbox.
Yeah, and the N64 has better graphics than the Switch. Basically. You may be thinking, that doesn't add up. But
it does. Unless you have the OLED model, like, it sucks.
It has better display. Sure, they don't have rigid corners or anything, but it has a more powerful display. For, like, their screen is...
Your TV.
Yeah, it's your TV, so you can choose what you want the screen to be. You can be OLED, it can be LCD, whatever you want it to be. And
then you have the Switch. It can't even handle powerful TVs.
Yeah. It just doesn't display.
If you have a powerful TV, your Switch will be insanely low quality. You have to have a low quality TV
to play your low quality console.
Your so-called brand new console. It's really just a Wii U with detachable controllers.
Yeah, and when you get a Switch, you call it your new console. It's not new. It's 6 years old. Nintendo has not made a new console in years.
I get, with the Xbox One, it was launched quite a while ago, and they didn't make a new console for years, but because the Xbox One was a great console.
And yeah, the Switch has been doing well, and people are still buying it. But the thing is, it's on its last leg.
It's on its last life. It's about to die. People are going to stop buying it. Nintendo's going to be like, what happened to all our customers?
And then everybody's gonna be like, we already have 3 Switches in our house. And then Nintendo's gonna be like, then get another one. And everybody else is gonna be like, no, we have every single game. We have every single Switch that you make.
That's part of the reason, like, why we like retro games.
It's because you have them and we can't get them anymore. And we're like, oh wait, we don't have any more good games. Now we have to go play the older games, which are also good, but they're better than some of the newer games.
Yeah, like my N64, I play more than my Switch.
Yeah. I play my Wii and my PS3 more than I play my Switch ever.
Like, the only reason people get Switches is for Breath of the Wild, which is on the Wii U.
Tears of the Kingdom.
And Tears of the Kingdom.
That's it. And then, like, Mario Kart, which you can just get on literally any console.
You can get Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U.
Yeah, and then
you have a better selection of games, like Wii Sports.
Twilight Princess HD, Wind Waker HD, they need to get those ports onto the Switch, because people have been asking for years, and they still haven't made them.
People want Mario Kart 7, but they don't want to have to buy a DS. Put it on the Switch.
People want Mario Kart 9. Make Mario Kart 9. Like, it's not that hard, Nintendo.
Quit stalling with DLCs. Make a new Mario Kart game.
Yeah, we don't want, like, just new characters in Mario Kart 8. We just want Mario Kart 9. Like, just put all those new characters that you have ideas for in Mario Kart 9.
Like, we don't care that you want one Mario Kart per console. Just make a new console and then put new Mario Kart on it. It's not that hard.
And they're probably going to put Mario Kart 9 as a bundle with their Switch 2. But guess what? Guess what? The Switch 2, it's portable. There's no way it's not portable because it's going to be hybrid if it's the graphics of the PS2. And, like, the dev kit for the Switch, it literally had the graphics, it had more storage than the actual Switch.
I know.
So, the beta version of the Switch has more storage than a Switch.
Well, I guess that kind of wraps up our us complaining about the Switch. Back to the Wii. Amazing. So good. Startup sounds awesome. They even have, they have music for every single game.
Yeah, like, Just Dance, you get the Just Dance theme song. Wii Sports, you get the Wii Sports theme song. And
like,
it's...
Nintendo's just reusing songs now.
Yeah, and, like, you just, like, for the Wii, you just click on the game that you want, and then it has, like, a disc spinning and the theme song, and then you can press A again.
And with Mario Kart, like, that game's so cool, especially when you push on it. Like, you see the Mario Kart dashing from side to side.
Yeah.
And even the Nintendo Switch has motion controls. They are better, but no game uses them.
Yeah, like, they have the motion controls,
but they don't use them.
Nintendo, they're, like, if Nintendo Switch or the Wii just had Nintendo Switch motion controls, the Wii would be, the best-selling console of 2023.
Yes. So, our thing to Nintendo is either make a new console or revamp the Wii.
I think revamping the Wii would be very good. Because
I say
just make the Wii instead of, like, the size of the Wii is. Make the Wii the size of the PlayStation 3 and then add all that you can to fit in there. Like, just make it super tight. And then just put Switch Joy-Cons bigger, like the size of a Wiimote, but Joy-Cons.
And have actual good Pro controllers. No drift stick, please.
Just, like, the Wiimote didn't have a stick. Yeah. So you couldn't get drift. And then they had the nunchucks. Those are cheaper than Joy-Cons. See, so if the nunchuck does get drift, which I don't think I've ever heard of, just get, like, another $5 nunchuck.
My thing to Nintendo, either make a new console or revamp old ones. Like, bring back the GameCube. People loved the GameCube.
Make GameCube HD.
Yes, make a GameCube. People love the tiny little discs. People love the startup noise.
We don't need the Switch OLED 2, where it's just a Switch, but better graphics, like, that aren't better at all.
Nintendo didn't even try with the Switch startup sound. It's just a click. Like the GameCube had.
Although it doesn't even start up with the click. It's not anything. It's just the Switch logo, and then it takes you to the home screen. And that's literally it.
Home screen. Oh my gosh. The Switch home screen. So freaking boring.
It has themes. It's like themes. White or gray. Do you want dark mode or light mode? It's called themes, not dark mode or light mode.
Like,
if you're going to have themes,
make it to where you can have images.
Each time you get a game,
but
it
the Switch
comes with a theme with it.
Yeah, but the Switch, it couldn't even handle having backgrounds. It couldn't handle eShop music. It couldn't handle home screen music because you chose a portable console.
The PS3 has a web browser. Switch can't handle a web browser. It's impossible.
Like, yeah, you might be able to go on the internet. You can't search stuff up and expect it to work.
Like the PS3 with your controller, it's easier to use than the Wii's motion controls. But then with the Switch motion controls, have the Switch motion control, your mouse, and then it would be like the OP thing. Just a web browser, your mouse is just your Joy-Con.
Another thing is, I say for the Switch, make it to where the Switch Sports actually is good. Like, have good motion controls, which they do, but have motion controls on more than one controller. Like, the only controller that has motion controls is the Player 1 controller.
And you know how the most popular game for like 2020, 2021, I think it was Wii Sports. And
Yes.
Nintendo saw that and was like, Switch Sports.
And
They didn't realize why it was popular.
It's because you could have customizable Miis.
And it was the main thing for it.
And you actually had skill levels. Like,
yeah.
and
What do you mean? Oh, yeah, I'm good at soccer. And then you just tell your friend that and you're like, your friend's like, hey, let me see your skill level then. And then you're like, oh, Switch Sports doesn't have skill level. And then they're just like, why did they even put soccer on that if you can't see your skill level?
especially, like, the pouch. It sucks. Like,
Yeah.
you put it on your pants, it goes flying off half the time.
You know how the Ring Fit has that thing that